Good morning. Morning, everybody. Hope you are well. Let me know if I'm coming through okay. I think I am. Aaron, Amira, Ash, Martin, Silver. Hope you all had a good weekend. Apologies for yesterday. I was very busy. Just bear with me. I'm recording. Yeah, I am recording, Martin. I am recording. Thank you. Yeah, so this month there's lots of stuff happening in the back end, put it that way, which will all become clear, hopefully by the 1st of May. So I don't think I'll be missing many streams, or hopefully I won't miss any more streams, but yesterday was just a wee bit busy. So what do I do? I've forgotten. Am I trading? It's been like 5 days since I've looked at the charts. Feels like ages. So yeah, hopefully everybody have a good weekend. Did anybody trade yesterday? Morning, Omar, mate. I know, Martin, you took some positions on yesterday. Silver, Ash, you started again with your FTMO? I think you unfroze it from yesterday, right? By the way, I discovered a new drink. I don't know if I think some of you might know Robinson's. You know Robinson's, the diluting juice? Well, I found this lemon one. And if you put soda with it, so soda water and a bit of lemon, it's like a nice little healthy lemonade. It's lovely. First trade today. Good. Good. Well done, Ash. A very smart decision. Smarter than me, I have to say. So well done, mate. Let's all hope. Oh, not hope. Hope is a bad way, but well, we can say let's hope the markets are a little bit better, a little bit more follow through, and we can make some money. I've missed making some money. I want to certainly start making it Q3, Q2, and let's see how we go. So let's get into the market, shall we? I do have an announcement at the end of the stream, which I'll go through about Andy, but let's do the stream first. Okay, SPX, we are still in pullback mode today. We had a decent day yesterday, on Monday, albeit a lack of volume on that bullish bar. We did have our evening star, morning star here. Do we think this is enough? Are we ready to potentially move again? Remember, these indexes do move slightly different from pairs, so I wouldn't be surprised if this does move to the upside. We are still on an uptrend. I think what we have to consider, if we go down to possibly this 4-hour chart, it may be a little bit better. We haven't got a complex here, so it's a bit harder to say, okay, where's our key area? And, certainly a break above this area, which is it our anchor? It's not technically an anchor there, so I wouldn't really be comfortable saying this is a key area, albeit it's maybe a shorter B. But really for a break above is obviously where feel a little bit more comfortable. I think in my personal bias would maybe we create a little bit more, maybe we create a B wave on those smaller time frames before we continue to the upside. That is certainly my preference. That is what I would like to happen, because from this move it does make it a lot healthier and a bit more confident in that upward movement with that momentum and follow through with a nice pullback, maybe possibly volume again coming in around this 200 and around this 20, so that dynamic area of support to price. And you'd expect some buyers to come in roughly around that area if we do get it. So it is risk on. We still have those extensions, certainly in those yen pairs. But it is, for me, in pullback mode, and this would be my particular bias. Unless, of course, we get a break above the highs. But still looks good. Still looks good. Okay, the dollar. Let's have a look at the dollar. Dollar's pushing. The hunch paid off. We are in a rangy, I think we have to call this a rangy environment, right? We're in a range with the DXY. You'd expect this to get up to here. Remember, these areas, certainly in a ranging environment like this, are pretty magnetic, as we saw from this area. It was we did see here that the push did look quite strong, which is why the hunch was, maybe we don't fail at that 50 and we push up towards this area. So if we look back at the daily, the bias now, again, has to probably be to the upside, but as long as we break this area, the ranges won't continue. So that is the easiest thing to say for me in the dollar. It gets up here. Let the market tell you what it wants to do. Preferably, we do this, and then we move to the upside, or, we fail and maybe we continue. But Let's wait for the market to tell us what it wants to do with that DXY. Either way, it's probably ready to move, but we need that real confirmation. So my personal bias would be possibly we tag up at this area, give us something that may produce into a trade in that DXY. But yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that right now. But certainly a rangy environment. So if you are got dollar pairs, just be aware that people will remember. Remember, markets have memories. So if you're pushing up to there, just be aware of slight weakness possibly coming into those majors against the basket. Okay, watch this today. I did have the US 30, but I believe it's kind of not doing much for me right now. It was a decent setup. I obviously like the ideas of buying the indexes. We've got our V reversal, corrective in, bit of accumulation, push on. I just don't like this retest. It's a little bit of nothing. It started off quite well. We may get this kind of price action where it's that rounding effect and then movement to the upside. I just... maybe, even zooming in on this, the good thing is that the range in this retest is nice. The volume on this retest is nice. But I don't like, we wanted really a catalyst here, right? That would have been a good sign, but it was over Asia. So I think I'm going to have to take that out. I still don't mind it to the upside with where the indexes is. Yes, we've got that 200 as dynamic. We've got that as a little bit of dynamic resistance to the upside as well. The retest just isn't very nice. So I'm going to let that go. I'll let that go. Okay, USD SEK and USD ZAR. I like these. I do like USD SEK. Or I did like USD SEK. And now that is just gone. So I was looking at this here. At the area it was. We were kind of getting into this wedge. From here, decent on the higher time frames. A little bit of V reversal. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Looking for a breakout retest, but unfortunately that has failed. I'll just move on swiftly from that setup. USD ZAR. USD ZAR is okay. Okay, we've got our cup with handle here. Decent corrective. Back to those moving averages. Looking for a breakthrough. Retest continuation of that higher term downtrend. 4 hour is okay. We could be getting... Well, no, it's not. Sorry, it's not an ABC. But, it's correction through time rather than through price, right? Which looks okay on this 4 hour. The worry is, are we slightly extended on this daily? That is the worry with this setup. But... a slight fake out to the downside, pushing on. I don't really like price action when it kind of goes like this from an impulse to the downside. So let's wait and see on that. USD SEK, I did like that's gone, but I don't mind the context. I don't mind this. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. But let's see. So if it does break out, retest, I'll have a decision to make then. We are still going with that trend. We don't have that potential loss of momentum. Absolutely not just yet. So this could be in a slightly ugly corrective phase before moving to the downside, but it certainly ain't great. It's certainly not what it was before. So let's wait and see on USD ZAR. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD is okay. Breakouts now. Aussie CAD is gone. Omar, did you take this? I was looking at this potentially on this 4 hour and also a little bit of accumulation on this daily, but we've obviously moved right now. I'm not sure if there's news out. Was there news out just in the past half an hour? Maybe affecting the Aussie? Waiting for a retest on this 4 hour on the daily, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this was nice. Don't get me wrong, this was nice. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking the breakout there. Was it Ash? Okay, appreciate that. I wouldn't have taken the breakout there personally, but I wouldn't have minded it. Obviously, hindsight is a great thing. I just would needed a few bars here before I went long on Aussie CAD. So a retest on the daily, yep, that could be on the cards from a decent push. Aussie CAD, which I presume, I don't have any other Aussie setups, but Aussie's had a decent move on account of that. Pound Swiss. Pound Swiss on this 4 hour is huge move on AU right after that. Okay, I'll have a look at AU as well. So we've got our basing structure. We're in this corrective phase. Obviously, we need a little bit more from this larger structure here for a potential breakout to the downside on pound Swiss. Doesn't go with that risk sentiment, but we don't know if stocks are going to push. The daily is okay, though. The daily is quite nice. There could have actually been, was an aggressive entry in there I missed? Maybe here, possibly. Anyway. The daily's off because we have broken underneath this area, but the power of the trend is down, despite what we're seeing in that stock market with the Swiss. And yeah, the setup's not bad. The setup is not bad. So let's see how that 4 hour continues over the course of the week. Okay, my favorite ones is gold. My favorite one is gold. There's a few different options. The scenario we were looking at last week was down here. I did think this was going to move down on account of these two bars. It seems to have pushed a little bit. I was looking at this area from our recent pullback for an entry, which is still on the cards. It's not off the cards until we break above this area. So we've got our V reversal corrective, a smaller pattern in range, but it certainly still is valid for a breakout to the downside. Moving averages are in nice places. Yeah, I wouldn't like this if I zoom in, sorry. What the ideal scenario is we don't break above these wicks. That's the ideal scenario. It's still okay if we do end up breaking above, but we don't really want that to happen, considering, you know, we've got to think about the range of the structure. We don't want this just to go like this, because then it becomes invalid. So I'd like this to show us something on London Open in 20 minutes of that kind of proper correlation between gold and USD. When US dollar is relatively strong or pushing up, gold does the opposite. But we might not be getting that right now. So if we do get this and that 20 catch up, that is a trade that I certainly would like to take. Albeit, you know, alternatively, there is the option down here, but this is what I'm looking at in the certainly the interim. So gold to the downside potential. V reversal on daily looks good. We're not massively taking from this daily bar. You know, we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 bar, where I consider if we don't get that movement within 5 bars, we can kind of not disregard, but be less wary of this bullish sign, even though it is coming on volume. So that V reversal on this move, you know, is still being in this corrective, which is nice. And I do like it down. So that's what I'll be looking for on gold. And just deleted the chart there, but that's what I'm looking for. Looks nice. And finally, silver as well on this 4 hour here. We've got our basing structure here, waiting for our handle, push on, accumulation, break to the downside. It's a counter trend idea. Okay, we have to consider this counter trend. The issue being is, have we created ABC and possibly 1, 2 before we move up? So that's why it's counter trend. However, there is also this I was looking at as well. So we could look at this. So these, it's a counter trend idea, right? Context on the daily isn't great, but if we do end up pushing through and potentially breaking down here, you know, down into a little bit more of a deeper corrective from this particular bar. Now, with this particular bar, we do expect some movement before it goes. So that is obviously the alternative view for silver. But let's see how it sets up over the coming days. This is the thing, is that you'd expect this to push now. Okay, certainly now, certainly tomorrow, if we're going to continue with this trend. So let's see what it does. And that's it for today. Morning, Ifo. Hope you're well. That is it for today. Let me have a look through your guys' stuff. Okay, so before I move into your guys' stuff, Andrew won't be continuing with RTFX. He's going to focus on his own stuff. So, yeah, that's that news. I am looking, you know, if there's anybody here and if you're watching the recording, I'm recording this. If you are more resonated with Andrew and you want to move to his side of things, you know, you can just let me know. I'll refund your package or whatever. I will be looking for 2 new traders. I just want to make sure that they're the right traders coming on board, that they're trustworthy, they know their stuff, and they are certainly, you know, give you good information and not a bunch of bullshit. Basically, that's not Andrew. That's not what I mean. But yeah, unfortunately, he will not be moving on with RTFX, and wish him the best of luck. Wish him the best of luck. Okay, let's go into your guys' stuff. I will start doing, I want to start doing like, maybe member interviews as we go along, things like that. But it's tough. It's tough finding traders that I like. It's tough. It's tough. But hey, hopefully in the meantime, I'm good enough. I'm good enough for you. Okay, let's go into this setup, shall we? Let's go into the setups. We'll go into Martin first. So, USD CAD to the downside. Should I move entry point? Aussie Swiss. I took proper. It's been 2 days on a proper. Okay. USD CAD to the downside. Should I move the entry point? Sell limit. Reason to enter. Okay, so you're not in USD CAD. USD CAD I'm not in yet because I don't know how to set up my trade. As you can see, the bottom of that purple box seems to be important support zone. Maybe wait to see if it forms a reverse cup with handle. Okay, let's go into this first. The issue, and I looked at USD CAD this morning. Well, obviously I look at every pair. On my scan, my issue is still this daily. This is the good thing about it, right? Pairs are getting there. They're getting to where I personally want them to be for me to be considering shorting the USD CAD. It's just not quite ready yet for me. Okay, 4 hour, and this is where the big difference between the 4 hour and the daily. The 4 hour does look a little bit better, but again, just doesn't look enough for me personally to short that pair yet. So you are looking on the hourly. I think you usually look at the hourly, right? So the hourly chart from here, breaking through here. Where's your setup though? Setup is probably here, 3 bar. I mean, for me, okay. So just in a general sense, Martin, for me, if you've not gotten involved in it already, you've just got to let it go. That's a part of FOMO where it's, if let's say you come back up and you get your order triggered, it kind of changes the dynamics a little bit of your setup, right? So with these things that you're not possibly triggered in, you've just got to let go. It is a little bit of FOMO, it's a little bit of fear of missing out on those profits. But if it does come up, trigger you in, and then you end up taking a loss on that, again, think about the psychology, is quite difficult to handle. So that would be my personal advice on what I think and what I would do is just, you just got to let it go sometimes. You just got to let it go. Aussie Swiss, how do I deal with that big candle? Aussie Swiss, you smile, Martin. You say, thank you very much for that big candle. That's what you normally do, unless it obviously massively rejects the next one. But it doesn't look to be doing that right now. 4 hour on Aussie Swiss is good. You may get a slight reaction. Forget about the news. You may get a slight reaction here. So, if you're in a decent profit, it depends on your trade management, right? Oh, so you've taken your profit. So 2-to-1 TP key level, 2-1 TP2. I don't understand this, Martin. 2-to-1 TP2. 1-to-1 ratio, first take profit. So I set up a buy limit if price retested this area. Okay. All right. Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me have a look at that Aussie Swiss franc down there. Yeah, I looked at that as well, Martin, actually. So for me, I mean, that's a good... This area wasn't perfect, but I could see why it is respected. So if you're looking at this, yep, that's good. You looked at the retest there. Okay, I understand it. Like for me, obviously, I can't take it, but that does not mean in any way, shape, or form that is not a good buy order from a breakout retest. Okay, so that's the first thing. But if you're taking profits, just let it run. Let it absolutely run. Let it. It's the new stop loss. Okay, I get you. New stop loss here. I mean, I get it. I get moving here. And certainly if you think price action coming down, if it does do that, it's probably failing, right? So yeah, I would agree with that. You get a slight reaction here. I would just be waiting. Just be waiting so you can move it up and like I said, ride that trend as much as it wants to go. The good thing about TP1 is obviously the pressure's off, right? Pressure's off. You can't lose any money. You've moved your stop, so it's a guaranteed profitable trade. Not every one of the trades that we take is going to be a home run. I wish it was the case, but we got to give them the chance of being a home run and not squeezing it too early before it actually goes. So Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss. I mean, yeah, just let it run. You know, even though I'm going to say, well, it's extended, you're in it now. So you're okay to ride that wave. You're okay to ride that wave. Okay, Bitcoin viewer also set up plus my 3 candle confirmation. Set up my entry after the first green candle after the big bullish one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I see where you are. You are okay. So it's been moving a little bit. Let's see where Bitcoin is. But this is what also is good to note down, Martin, about your kind of TPs is how often do, let's say you fiddle with the trade. Okay, is that better than, are you more profitable that way than not? Or let's say there's a few days gone past. Are you more profitable taking out or just letting it run? So I think Bitcoin is good. I think I'd rather be buying it. But we could be in that complex corrective on the daily right here. You know, retest of this area before moving to the upside. Yes, okay, we've got that 200 there. But I don't mind it up. You know, I don't mind it up. Let me get rid of some of this mess here. Let me just look at it. So we don't have to get that. This is a decent bar. We get a break above here. Then, I mean, it looks pretty good. Look at that. From here, it's not so. I mean, if I'm looking at, and I know I'm not in the trade, but if I'm looking at that chart and you're telling me you're in this long, I would be like, okay, good. I think it's in a good position. Yes, okay, it could come back down, but any trade can do anything, right? But if you're looking at this 4 hour specifically, and you're seeing I mean, this is a healthy trend for Bitcoin here, right? We've had our a little bit more climactic at the end of the move, but we're now into that digestive period where we could be in this. Yes, we could come down for an ABC, yeah? We could do that, and obviously we can fail. But looking at this particular and recent price action here, depending on what happens on London Open, you get a break and close above this area for me. There's multiple confluences there with the trend that says Bitcoin wants to move up. So I like that. I like it. You got a decent stop on it. Yeah, and that you've got your TP at that key level, I guess, right? So, yeah, I like it. I like it. Absolutely. I wouldn't be taking off yet. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But I get, this is something you could write down, Martin, right? So you could write it down and just and then you know, since you're on a testing account, let it run. You know, you let it run, you say, okay, well, I've done this, I've done that, and you can figure out the data on it, because that's all that matters, right? The data and stats are all that matters. Okay, Swiss yen, 1 hour. Swiss yen, 1 hour short. Let's have a look. So you're looking here. I presume you're looking at a potential head and shoulders on Swiss yen, let's say. Something like this, breakout, retest, or a breakout from here, okay? So, I agree I wouldn't want to buy it. We could be getting into this. You know, we could be getting into this, which is technically bullish. I was going to say, well, is there a rising wedge here? We could maybe say, are we getting into that? Because of this extension. 4 hour is actually not bad, though. 4 hours not bad. What's getting into you? What's because this is actually there's a few ways. So this is the thing. There's a few ways to look at it. One is that this price action is quite healthy moving into it. Other people may look at this because of that extension and say, well, are we getting into a slight wedging structure here, which theory dictates movement to the downside? Okay, as I said, I wouldn't be buying. This is if this setup for me, which it kind of is a potential setup, I wouldn't be taking that breakout just purely because of where the daily is. Right, so if you do get that 200 might be in the way. You are going against the grain. So I don't mind it, Omar. I don't mind it. But in terms of a reason to enter, I don't think we quite have it just yet. But I do agree that there should be a slight pullback here. But I don't think there's something massively telling me that yet. Maybe on a break of this. Oh, not that. Maybe on a break of this. And we're kind of breaking through. They could get some sellers coming in. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Euro Swiss, yeah, Euro Swiss I like. Aaron was messaging me about Euro Swiss yesterday. I don't mind that. Euro Swiss. I think it's kind of gone now from here. But yeah, the idea was good. The idea on Euro Swiss was good. We look at the difference. Like we look at the difference here on terms of where it was in the daily 4 hour. You know, you kind of got this on your 4 hour, right? So from here, here. Oh, wait, are you looking at the 4 hour? I thought you were, sorry, I'm getting confused with Aaron who was looking at the 1 hour. Yeah, okay, so 4 hour from here. Yeah, if it comes back and retests, that would be nice. Comes back and retests, that would be nice. I would have preferred this to retest really from here if I'm having my druthers, but yeah, it doesn't mean it's not invalid. So Euro Swiss, yeah, don't mind that. Better. In a better position on the daily as well. Certainly from recent price action here is negative. You know, with this, we're obviously not extended. We could look at this as a pretty messy AB shallow C movement down, break of B wave. There could be a potential on this daily as well for a retest on Euro Swiss here. There. So yeah, that's much better. That one's much better. Euro Swiss. Well done. Yes, I'm keeping a journal. Excellent. Also started to do video journals. Oh, well done. It's good. It's a good idea. Yeah, and listen to your analysis. Yeah, I mean, the best thing for me with journals, obviously the back testing is where I got my data, but in terms of the psychology, when you're going through a bad time, you know, and also looking back for me is the best thing about it. So you could go maybe the next 6 months and, you know, develop your stuff and feel like you're getting better, and then go through a little bit of a rough time. Watching all of those videos of, you know, from now, you know, 6 months in the past and in 6 months' time, it will give you a little bit of a boost and remember that, you know, yes, okay, I'm maybe having a bad time now, but I'm certainly better than I was 6 months ago, and that's the good thing about it, right? Silver, do you have any charts? I didn't see any charts from you today. If there's anything else you guys want me to look at, I will. New Zealand yen and ETH. Let's have a look at AU before AU. Must have a decent move. Yep, there we go. Aussie pairs moving. Didn't really want that to happen, to be honest with you. Didn't really want that to happen, but anyway. So New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen and ETH 1 hour up. From here, yep. Yeah, yeah, I don't mind that, Silver. I don't mind it. I just don't like the daily. Right, I don't. So the context here, like Swiss yen, the context on that 4 hour is pretty good. I can't bring myself to buy that. I can't. But the context is right. Yeah, the context is good. I just worry about that extension on the daily. I just worry about it. ETH. ETH 1 hour up. 1 hour up. Probably looking here, right? V reversal. V reversal. Squeeze. Yeah, you're going with the trend. Crypto, when it wants to move, it'll move, right? Broken anchors. We're breaking anchors here. If it was a Forex pair, I'd say not sure, but you know, we're above the 200 going with that trend. It's relatively healthy. Yeah, I don't mind that actually, silver. If you're looking at that V. Real account trade on AU running 9R. Oh, well done, mate. 9R. That's just lovely. 9R. The good thing about those huge trades is it just, you know, it takes so much pressure off, or pressure on yourself off, because you're like, well, I've just got a 9R trade, you know, and you know you're good enough to kind of go whatever your stats is, your win rate is, where with that massive buffer. I mean, it's great. And you get more confidence out of it, right? Because you're not scared of losing, and you know you have that big. So well done, excellent. Yeah, ETH I like. I mean I like it. Silver, I like it better than New Zealand yen. Put it that way. I like it better than New Zealand yen. I just don't like where that is. Just don't like where that is. Personally, my FTMO got unfrozen. Oh bloody hell! That's a nightmare, isn't it? Oh, you can do it again though. You can do it again. This is good on your real account though. This is good on your real account. Okay. Well, I think that's it for today. Thanks for joining as always. I appreciate it. Remember, if you have got any questions, then let me know. Just in regard to the giveaways last month, just because of all the changes we're doing, I forgot to put an announcement out. Our bank account is basically we're having some changes with our. I'll give you so we're changing our name, right? The name will be changed from RTFX to something else, and the back end stuff is a bit of a nightmare because of that. So I will be doing the giveaways. We will restart the giveaways from this month. So next NFP we'll do another 50K, as long as I mean I couldn't give a 50K away last month anyway because nobody applied for them. But we will do it again with the $200 this month as well. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all same time tomorrow. Trade safe. Peace.